Hey there, welcome to Synth Seeker. My name is Luke. So today is the first entry in a new playlist of videos that I'm going to be building that I'm just calling my music making diary. I am working on an album. If you heard the EP I did last summer, it's been a year. I'm making an album in the same sort of style, which is like a prog synth-oriented instrumental music, my music, story music. If you've listened to any of the music that I publish, you'll know what I'm talking about. We don't worry that, we shouldn't worry about making music that people will necessarily like because it is a particular type. This is how I feel. I don't really pay attention to genres all that much, especially in the electronic music space. I make the music that I like with the hope that it will be found by people who like the same sort of stuff that I like. So, I mean, at the end of the day, that is my entire YouTube life strategy. I do the things I like, I share them. If you like the things that I've shared, you and I like similar things, we might be friends. If you make things like that, I'll listen to your things or look at your things. And that's how I carry myself in my life. So I don't have a goal. I'm not trying to, generate a lot of fans or anything like that. I just, when I die, I'm going to leave behind a body of music, and the right people will find it. That's the point. And to that end, this video series, these playlists, are not going to be daily. I'm going to shoot for weekly, but it will probably be more than weekly. And I'm just going to be working on a piece of music here, and I'll work on it, put some effort into it every day. And then every few days or every other day, or maybe every day, I will make a brief diary entry video that shows what did I do today. And so I've been working on this piece for about a week. I've done 3 little test videos and shared with my patrons on Discord, basically saying, hey, is this boring or is this entertaining? They seem to find it entertaining. So I'm going to make it official and start putting these out on the channel. So I'm actually taking a step back. I've got a few days worth of work here in this project, and I'm just going to walk you through what I've built so far. And I encourage your comments and feedback. If you think, hey, wouldn't it be cool with this? Go ahead and make your suggestion. There are no promises. This is my music, not yours. I'm going to do what I want to do with it. But, only a fool wouldn't listen to constructive criticism. So here we go. So what's going on? I'm working in this prog style. What does that mean? Well, I've got a drum kit that is really just a temporary drum kit. And I'm experiencing a bug actually in the newest version of Ableton, the most latest beta of Ableton, with regards to the push. Got the new push here. And the way it works is when I've got my system basically monitoring set to auto, as I select new tracks, it should be auto-enabling the record. It should be auto-arming the record. And it's not. If I long press on one, it will arm it for record. And then if I pick another one, you'll see that it's auto-armed. That's the sort of dimmer record sign. But if I pick a third one, then it doesn't follow, and it used to. And I don't know if this is a push problem or if this is a beta problem or some combination of the two. If I manually go into the machine and select a track, it will auto-arm. It follows every track I select. So you'll see me flub a lot. I'll go and press something on the push to change the channel and then start playing and nothing happens because it's not armed for record. So I need to remember to select my tracks manually. Right. If I do that, nothing. I got to select it again. Anyway, so that's a bug. It's annoying the crap out of me. Anyway, so what do we got here? The way I write music is I pick some standard instruments that I always write with. I always write with a very simple, very simple, 80s, 90s prog drum kit. This is a nice little MPE drum kit that comes with the new beta, with the new Ableton and the push. these are just placeholders. All right. I used to use loops a lot. I would just drop a loop in. That's fine. I got nothing against doing that. I may still do that in the future, but for now, I'm going to try and teach myself how to drum a little bit better. And then I always use, I like this Rick bass. That's my bass. I built that patch. It's mine. If you want to have something similar, it's basically coming right out of Spectrasonic's Trillion. And I basically have a bunch of layers in there, building it up, and I've applied effects and EQs, and I've messed with it, and that's mine. And no, I will not give it to you, but it's just Trillion. You could totally go make your own. But I'm going to have that bass in there. I like this Rhodes. It's a little on the muted side. It's distorted. It's got a sort of phaser going on there, and there's a really deep ambient reverb that is listening for highs. So you can hear that ringing out. That's just the ambience of what I'm trying to do. I do have a piano in here. All right. So these are just basic building blocks. This is not what the song will necessarily sound like. All the bass is going to probably be in there, and probably the Rhodes too. But and then I use this sort of, this is a, see, I just did it. I hit the change tracks with the push, and it should auto arm, and it's not. This is just a standard brass pad. I think it's a Chroma Polaris, actually. This is all software, no hardware. The point of this is I use this to make my songs and figure out the harmony and melody and the bass lines and things, get some drums in there. And then later when I'm arranging it, I may go put some hardware synths in here or change the instrumentation. And then I've just randomly got 3 synth tracks for synths that I want to go play with, basically. Every song I do has this sort of foundational, E-piano bass drums, and then some synths on top of it to give it a different feel or texture, to have something interesting for the ear to latch onto and say, oh, this is different in this song than the last one. Or I'll have a synth patch that's doing something interesting that drives a chunk of the song, right? So anyway, that's the setup. All right. Now, today's little video may be a little on the long side because I'm giving you the whole setup and stuff, but the daily diaries are going to be short, less than 20 minutes, probably closer to 10. Now, what I do here when I'm writing music, and I've done a video on this called Mining Your Self-Consciousness or Stream of Consciousness Music Creation. Ableton is always listening to what you're doing, especially when you're playing, I should say, when you're playing MIDI, right? There's a button on the push here, a little dotted corner box. There's a same button up here in the UI. That's the capture button. All right. So Ableton is listening. And if you don't give it any MIDI input, it sort of resets it erases the blackboard. But then as soon as you start playing, it starts remembering that, even though you haven't hit record. Okay. And the point of that is you want to capture happy accidents. And a lot of people, myself included, have record button anxiety, red light anxiety, right? When you hit record, the red light comes on. It can, make you panic a little bit or raise your adrenaline enough that you start flubbing up, and that makes you flub up more. So what I generally do is I will start the transport running. All right. And I'll turn on the metronome. Now I can hear that in my ears because it's going through the cue. You shouldn't be able to hear it, although the microphone might be picking it up because the mic is near the headphones and the headphones are semi-open. But I've got this going. And what I will generally do is select the track manually because it's pressing that. It's not working. Hello, bug. Right? And I'll just noodle like that. I've done that. Now, if I press the capture button, it makes a new clip. And here it is. This is the greatest composing tool that computers have enabled, bar none, in my opinion. The best thing that has enhanced my writing is to get rid of the record button and just listen to everything and capture it all. And that's the pattern I use. Okay. So let's treat this as a diary. We'll call this day one diary. I'm not going to drill into everything that's in here as far as clips are concerned. I'm just going to focus and show you this one. If we look at this clip, I'm going to temporarily get rid of the, you can't see my hands, which is fine. So I was just noodling. I literally sat down with this synth patch and I just recorded it. All right. All right, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but basically I've got, 32 bars of me, musically masturbating, just playing around, jamming. You build that patch and you go, oh yeah, this sounds great. And you just play, right? Well, the beauty of Ableton, and I'm sure other software does this too, is that I just get that inspired sound, then I just, play, right? Wangle around. And then when I'm done and I go, and I'm spent, I hit capture, bam, it's all in here. And then I go back and start pulling stuff out of it. All right. So what I did was I basically captured a bunch of synth playing, right? And then I also went and I did the same thing for Rhodes here. We stop this, we start this. Right, so I've got 25, 26 bars of Rhodes and sort of noodling. And then I did the same thing with the bass part. And I've got. All right, and so that is my composing process. Like that's step one. I pick some sounds and I just play, right? I just jam on with myself. This is very, sorry, I made a masturbation reference earlier. It's musical masturbation. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll try and steer away from those sort of metaphors. Be family friendly, but, and that's step one. And I really just find sounds I like, and then I make some clip captures. All right. Try that. Okay. This is diary entry one. I am just noodling and capturing and noodling and capturing. And then what I do is I go back later and I subselect pieces. I'll say, okay, well, let's just look at, this much. How much do I want here? Let's do 2 bars. I'll take this much, right? And then I'll loop it. Right. And I'll say, okay, well, let's treat this as a loop. Right? And then I'll put a drum part over it. And I'm going to extract that and I'm going to put it in as a clip. I'll save that somewhere else as a little clip, right? And that's something I did here with another piece in there. And so over the last few days, I've been pulling out clips and pulling out pieces. And sort of building out these songs. And another example would be this. So out of this larger clip, I pulled a little piece out of here, these little chord stabs, and I've turned that into these chord stabs. It's a little loop. Same thing, I'll put a drum part over it. Same drum part, it's nothing fancy. Right, so this clip was this piece. Over here, it was in here. It's not exactly the same. I've tweaked it a bit. Right, my noodling always has wrong notes in it and things that I'm playing, right? And yes, I know one of my earliest videos is there are no wrong notes. I still say wrong notes, but unintentional notes. I will play notes that perhaps don't harmonically fit as well as I would like because I wasn't playing with deep intention. No wrong notes. But you pull these pieces out and you've got some noodling on the synth, and I've got some noodling on the e-piano, and I've got some noodling on the bass, and I'll pull out clips that I like the sounds of. And then later I will go arrange, and that's going to be a different diary entry in the future. I will put them all together. All right. So I'm just going to show you a brief little snippet of some things that I pulled out here. I'm going to play two scenes of what's happening as far as the production music making diary is concerned for this week. This is the week of, what is this the week of? The week of July 4th. July 4th was at the beginning of the week. My birthday was last Sunday, in fact. And I share a birthday with the Midlife Synthesis. We're both July 2nd. So, hey man, happy birthday. And if you don't know who that is, go look it up. YouTube guy. He's basically like me, a little younger, middle-aged, dad, day job, that kind of thing. And he focuses on gear and songwriting. He's an amazing singer. Anyway, babbling. Just check out Midlife Synthesis. He's cool. But I have two scenes here that I've extracted out of these noodles that I will play for you, and we'll call it a day. All right. And in a few days, I'll do another one and show you some more things that I've extracted. And maybe I'll talk a bit about how we're going to sort of arrange them together. And we'll get into some analysis. I am not a music theory guy, but I know enough to be dangerous. And so what I'll do is I'll start doing, in the next diary, we'll talk about a little analysis of some of these clips. And you guys can correct me and suggest things. All right. So here, let's listen to some scenes here. So this is one. All right, so I've got the chord stabs, and I've got this e-piano piece underneath it. All right, and then another scene I've got here is this. I'm just going to jump right in. Here's the whole thing. Here we go. Anyway, so that's the state of the world. That's what we're going to be doing here on Synth Seeker for a little while. We're going to take some of our noodling ideas, start putting them together. You are going to see me revisit a bunch of the projects from January, where I did a different sort of clip every day for 31 days. Some of those ideas are too fun not to recycle. So what I'll be doing is I'll be doing this jamming. My jamming may revolve around some of those revisited projects. So, stay tuned if that's something that interests you. And really, that's about it. All right. So thanks for spending time with me. This is diary entry number 1, Music Making Diary 1. There'll be a playlist for this. If this is entertaining for you, tell me what you're building. Share a link in the comments. If people have not complained, but been confused. If you put a link in the comments to your music, and I encourage you, please do so. It'll take a couple days for the comment to show up, or at least a few hours, because to avoid spam, all comments that have links in them are automatically held, and I have to review the link just to make sure you're not, sex trafficking porn links or something like that, which apparently happens a lot. There's a whole bunch of people, on the Pacific Rim. There are apparently amazingly beautiful young women who want to get me clicks by me sending them money, and they have big cleavage. I don't know, whatever that. There's a demographic they're marketing to. I'm a middle-aged man, whatever. So for that reason, link comments are not shared immediately. But go ahead and post links to your music or things that you're creating in this space, especially if you're a synthy person and you work in Prague or Berlin School. I welcome those comments. Share your stuff. And it's just going to take a day or so for the comment to appear. So don't freak out. I had one guy post the same comment like 8 times and then posted a comment because it had a link in it. None of them were showing up. And then he posted a comment saying, I keep trying to post links and it's not working. And then I go to review it and there's like 8 posts, eight links waiting for my approval. Anyway, bear that in mind. Thank you for, if you subscribe, thank you for spending time with the channel. And as always, you have been watching Synth Seeker. Have a great day.